I try to be guided by my faith as a Christian, and I don't want to read this. It's pretty much more like, even like worse than the greetings. But you know, you can read that on his what do you call it? His Twitter, explaining himself. It's obvious. I'm not asking you to hate. See, if you're watching me as an Igbo man, from wherever you're watching from, right? From wherever you're watching right now, right? Listen, this broadcast is not to say you must keep the hatred or something. No. It does nobody anything. But at the same time, as much as a lot of you knows that you may even forgive, but you will never forget. It is unforgettable. It can't be forgotten. The point here is this. The people responsible for these killings, this genocide, right? They are not worthy of any celebration to start with. Secondly, why has it taken Nigeria over 50 years now to actually acknowledge that they committed a genocide against the people of Eastern Nigeria, the Igbos, and put it as an edit, as a law, as a recognition in that country that this must never happen again. The names of all those who died will be printed on a very long, large wall that anybody who wants to be the president of that contraption should go there. You get what I mean? Every time you want to, I'm just saying this now, like in your typical one Nigeria, anybody who wants to become president of Nigeria should, before the swearing in for anybody who wants to be president of Nigeria should be done at that long wall of epitaph, right? With the names of all those who died, including on both sides, Nigeria side, the Biafran side. Print their names on that long wall. If it's going to take 50 kilometers of road or 50 kilometers stretch, print their names one by one on that wall. And to remind all of us the dark past of a human ego that sought to the death of innocent people because of a tribal hatred, political rivalry that has done us nothing but total damages, destruction. That is how. Then you now have to kind of choose a day. In fact, a day got to encourage you. A whole week to remember what happened. And you see those ones that participated in it, you will now have to kind of make a pronouncement, whether they are dead or alive. You have to expunge their names from the history of anything good in that country. That's the closure. If I happen to have the power, which I won't have, so no doubt, so don't worry yourself, okay? If I happen to have the power to become your president in that contraption, that's what I would do. The likes of Gowon will be convicted. Or it will be pronounced by the presidential proclamation that these were the enemies of the people. And everywhere they put the name of Gowon, the name of Obasanjo, the name of Muritala, the names of all those, Theophilus Danjuma and co., the names of all those who participated in that program, the killings, must be expunged totally from the history of that contraption. And the reason must be given. So that anybody again will never, ever instigate what will become a bloodlet, a genocide that you have witnessed. But see, since they didn't do that, now we have a generation of your Nigerians who have now grown more hateful of one another. Hateful of one another. To the point that we are just like this tiny step away from another genocide. With the level of a political rhetorics that you are seeing today, hatred, threats that you are witnessing in Nigeria today, that Nigeria is more divided than ever today. Because those who committed this crime, they are called elder statesmen in Nigeria. Elder statesmen. And no wonder Boko Haram came to come and slaughter young people who were waving flags, asking that they needed good governance. They want an end to murderous police system. What did they get? Death in return. And today, Bokwari is seen as an elder statesman. Elder statesman. God damn it, man. They will do it again and again. They're going to keep killing us and justifying it. And the more they kill us, the more they are rewarded. Yeah. Every one of them, every step of the way, it has become something that anybody can carry out. As mad as America is, they will never carry out a genocide in their country. They will never turn their guns on their citizens and murder thousands, tens of thousands, because somebody is in power, because he has the power to do it. They can kill millions abroad. They can sell weapons that are massively killing people, but they won't try it in their own country. But in Nigeria, Nigerian army, Nigerian police, they are very good at that. They don't fight any war. The only war, they don't have any war. They don't fight any war, but they are generals, major generals. Generals of what? Generals of killing Nigerians. 4 years ago, today, they turned their guns. They mobilized their soldiers from their barracks, the policemen. They picked up their guns. The guns bought for them by the taxpayers, and they turned it on their citizens, armless citizens. And they killed and killed and killed. Only to deny it. Here, I'll show you this one first. Before Ojukwu died, he granted this interview.
But at the end of it, I don't want to go because these things are all, the tapes are available, the records are there. In fact, only about 2 weeks ago, I saw a set of the records again. The transcripts are available. But we talked about the Nigerian situation. And certainly, at the end, everybody says, oh, you told them this, you did that. The fact was that our case was so clear that I actually believe at the end of Aburi that the problem was not Gowon, but probably some ambassadors in Lagos who were pressing for something else. Because we understood each other. We agreed on every single point. The drafting was, in fact, my chief secretary with 2 other chief secretaries from the other side. They said, no, no, no. And drafted and agreed. We looked at it, we agreed. General Ankara read over the whole report again to us at the end. Asked us if we wanted to amend anything. No. At the end of all that, the position was so good that actually Ankara drove Jack, Gowon, and myself to the airport. Jack was sitting on his left, I was sitting on his right. He was in the middle. And in the course of that journey, at a point, General Ankara shook his head and said, oh, thank you. Thank you. If only we can go on like this, everything would be all right. I believe. I was the one. As I do now from time to time, I go for the dramatic. Suddenly I picked up Gowon's hand, put it on Ankara's lap, brought my other hand, placed it on it, and I said, General, sir, hold us together, I want to say something. So General Ankara put his hand on top of the 2 hands, and I said, General, I want to assure you that I am totally satisfied with everything we said. I will even go further and say to you something I did not say at the conference, and that is that once we have implemented everything we have said, I would ask you for one favor and one favor only, and that would be to be the one to propose Jack Gowon as a head of state of Nigeria.
It was a two-day conference of peers and old mates, but its aftermath produced even further controversy.
At Aburi, yes, we agreed on area commands for the armed forces. At Aburi, we agreed that the police force would be decentralized. We agreed on those. Yes. We agreed even to show that we didn't separate. At Aburi, we also agreed on certain revenue formula. That's what happened at Aburi. Aburi again, because I always end up, it sounds odd today, but I always end up by saying I must have been naive, because I believed actually that would be the end. I'll confess to you, when I got back to Enugu, oh yes, I had a party, believing that probably the danger was over. That's what we thought. Until they then began to deny everything. It was the denial of Nigeria that made me publish the tapes of Aburi, because we had insisted that each one should have a set of tapes. Everybody talks about confederation. Go and look at the transcript. There is no time that the word confederation came from my lips.
It was proposed by Gowon, not even him. But the rest, they say, is history today. And more reason why they've expunged our history, so that you can celebrate murderers, genocidists, thieves, treasury looters, hateful individuals who continue to nationalize hatred in that contraption as your heroes past, your leaders, your elders. Very, very unfortunate place, man. So yeah, Peter Obi can go and become your president in Nigeria. So probably the only difference between him and others is that he hasn't shown to us that he is a thief. Or is he somebody with a spine? No, he's a spineless coward like many others. The chancers will take advantage of people's vulnerability, gullibility to attain power. It will lead nowhere. But the Golgotha that they are actually pushing everybody to. They are celebrating him now that some of the obedient are like, what the heck? Why would you even say this? Why don't you just say, happy birthday, Gowon, and just let it go? Why do you have to say all those words that make Gowon pretty much like so good of a man? He's an evil man, evil to the bone. Evil. A war criminal. There's no amount of nice city or nice words that's going to change that. And this is not just for those who are the direct descendants of the genocide, including many of us who are non-Igbos too, who have read the history. And we're like, that war was so unnecessary. You can point fingers here and there. Now the British ambassador, now the Kiniko, leave all of that. It all boils down to one thing. The ego of a man and the criminals behind the scene who decided to sacrifice millions of lives, all for what? Is that Nigeria now better now? Are we living in a Nigeria that is so better, so great, that we can thank him and say, thank you for not letting the Igbos go. Obasanjo, thank you for bringing the war to an end. If the Igbo had left, how can we have this Nigeria that is so good, so great, so beautiful, so safe? What can we thank them for right now? I mean, what would you thank all these guys for now, being part of this contraption today? What would you say you are thanking them for? Damn it, man. Oh, leave it at that. Until next time. So, these days, you don't even need to be taught any history in schools anymore. If you are ignorant of what's going on or what has happened in Nigeria, it is by choice. Okay? The whole information is now online, on social media, on the internet, everywhere. Go out there and read or buy some books. Some books that can tell you more about the contraption. You see, there are many. Some of the books that can help you understand what they did to you and why. Right? They are out there. And if you don't like reading, again, go online. Some of these have been illustrated into audio book, videos with evidence of what happened. You will only just be, you will just be ignorant by choice, including the one they did 4 years ago, and SARS. They've started to change the history as well, but the internet won't forget. It's all out there. Your criminal leaders are not leaders. They are dealers. They are murderers. They are thieves and bunch of rogues that deserves an electric chair in a normal country. So today, people decided to honor or remember those they killed 4 years ago for demanding for a good governance, a responsible government in a country that is supposed to be their own. They slaughtered them, then denied them in death. Today, people took to the street to remember them. Guess what? They started shooting them again. This was at Lekki.
You can see that they are shooting tear gas. They have started shooting tear gas. You can see. You can see. You can see them. Everybody down.
We dey inside Black Maria. We dey inside Black Maria.
We have been arrested by the Nigerian government. Say we dey protest.
Today we no protest. Na memorial.